You can only stay informed about current developments across the federal ministries, agencies, and parastatals on Ministry News. Welcome on board. The federal government Wednesday said its efforts to ensure steady power supply nationwide are being frustrated by terrorists who are vandalizing critical power infrastructure in hard-to-reach areas, especially in the northeast. The Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, will disclose this to State House correspondents in Abuja at a press briefing after the FEC meeting, lamented that the damages have hindered the transmission company of Nigeria from extending power to the affected areas. Aliyu, however, noted that his ministry is working closely with security agencies to assess such areas and begin new power projects.
Good news now is that they have just invited us for the factory test of the power transformers, which around July will go to Turan, Italy. That is not all. This is just for the quick win, phase one of the delivery of the intervention. The first one is to get the quick win. So as soon as we get these 10 transformers, we have been working and I have identified where we are going to install them across the country so that they give us the initial boost that we have been seeking for.
The federal government has granted 694 of the 12,387 applications for the first phase of the National Housing Program. Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, represented by the Osun Housing Controller in the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing during the week when he handed over keys to beneficiaries in Osun State. The minister said the handing over of keys to beneficiaries held simultaneously across the country.
We have therefore offered all these housing units to members of the general public in a non-discriminatory way by opening the portal to ensure that those interested are not inhibited by any artificial obstacles, and allocation will be made on the basis of those who apply and pay on a first-come, first-served basis.
The Federal Executive Council has approved an enterprise licensing agreement for Microsoft products and the clearing up of C-band spectrum in order to accelerate the deployment of 5G services in the country. This took place during the meeting of the Council on the 29th of May 2022, following the presentations of 3 memos by the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami. The government-wide enterprise licensing agreement for Microsoft products is a software acquisition cost reduction strategy for government, and it will be implemented by the National Information Technology Development Agency (NITDA) under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. The agreement is part of the federal government efforts towards keeping the cost of IT projects within sustainable levels, give government access to discounted prices and other cost benefits, as well as reduce project duplication across federal public institutions, amongst other strategic benefits. The Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, had a meeting with Rwanda's Minister for ICT and Innovation, Her Excellency Paola Ingabire, on the sidelines of the recent Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, which took place in Kigali, Rwanda. Both ministers at the meeting discussed the implementation of their similar mandates and commended each other on the strides they have made in the development of the digital economy in both countries. They also explored areas of partnership between Nigeria and Rwanda, and they identified areas such as developmental regulation, policy formulation, digital identity, and cybersecurity, among other issues. As two of the leading digital economies in Africa, both ministers also discussed ways of strengthening partnerships across Africa in order to achieve a vibrant digital economy across the African continent. The Director of Information and Communication Technology (ICT), Federal Minister of Education, Mr. Abubakar Issa, has said efforts are in top gear for the implementation of a digital literacy policy framework for digital literacy, having provided a learning website for the entire country that had over 15,000 videos. He disclosed this in Abuja on Tuesday at a two-day workshop on policy initiatives for digital learning in Nigerian universities, being attended by 19 vice-chancellors and 13 directors of Africa Centers of Excellence from different locations in the country. The workshop is organized by the Regional Training and Research Institute for Distance and Open Learning, Retrido, NOUN, in collaboration with the Commonwealth of Learning in Vancouver, Canada, and the African Center of Excellence on Technology Enhanced Learning, ACETEL. The federal government has expressed commitment towards the development of technical and vocational education and training, saying this remains the only way out of the current high level of unemployment in the country. The Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, made this known in Abuja Thursday while monitoring the 2022 NAPTEP examinations in Federal Government College, Orozo, and Government Technical College, Gariki, Abuja. At least 88,000 candidates are sitting for the ongoing 2022 National Business and Technical Examinations Board (NAPTEP) certificate examination nationwide. The federal government has flagged off the second phase of Operation Free the Porth Corridor, aimed at removing all illegal checkpoints and shanties along the Tinkan Port Corridor. Speaking in Lagos on Friday, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Transportation, Magdalene Ajani, who flagged off the operations at an event organized by Nigerian Shippers Council, said the second phase will clear checkpoints and shanties along Apapa, Tinkan Island, Coconut, Bega Yard, Mile 2, Orile, and Ijora Sifats. Ajani, who was represented by the ministry's Deputy Director Adams Ofie, said the operation will be undertaken by the Presidential Standing Task Team and will eliminate traffic gridlock and corrupt practices that hinders ease of doing business in Nigerian ports. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has met with stakeholders on the implementation of the Social Investment Program (NSIP) in states across the Federation. Speaking during the meeting held Tuesday in Abuja, the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Nasiru Sani Gwazo, represented by the Director, Special Needs, Mrs. Nkechi Onwukwe, said that the needs of the people by ensuring adequate rehabilitation, social inclusion to propagate human dignity is paramount at all times. The NSIP is the biggest social protection and poverty eradication program ever put in place by any government in Nigeria to address immediate and long-term socio-economic imbalances and irregularities in the country.
The program has been carefully designed to address specific social economic challenges and protect Nigerians from poverty, economic shocks, and social exclusion by increasing the income and livelihood of the poor and vulnerable households.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Osagi Ehanire, said the Guild of Medical Directors must be involved in the health reforms in the country. Dr. Ehanire, who advocated this in a communique during the inaugural Leadership and Business Summit of the Guild held in Abuja, noted that there is need for a permanent and continuous communication link between the Federal Ministry of Health and the Guild as key stakeholders in healthcare delivery in Nigeria. The minister further added that the federal government should strongly review the issue of actively leasing out some of its facilities to be managed by the private sector in a public-private partnership arrangement. The federal government has announced a new cigarette tax regime that will see the price for a pack of 20 cigarettes increase from 58 naira to 80 naira, while shisha will be taxed at 3,000 naira per litre. The new tax regime was revealed by the Minister of State for Health, Olorunbe Mamora, Tuesday at the launch of the Tobacco Control Data Initiative dashboard in Abuja. It revealed that the new tobacco tax regime went into effect on the 1st of June.
Winning the war against tobacco use is a joint responsibility.
I want to declare the TCDI dashboard launched.
And finally, on ministry news, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, during the week at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, hosted the players and officials of the victorious Under-17 Boys National Team, the Golden Eaglets, for winning the West African Football Union WAFU B Championship Cup held in Cape Coast, Ghana. The minister will admonish the team for making the country proud, commended the leadership of the NFF for making merit and competence its watchwords in selection of competent coaches for the age grade national teams, as agreed with the ministry, which is said has started to bear fruits with excellent performances at under 20 and under 17 levels recently.
The presidency is the only apex decision-making office that pilots the critical task of governance. What's the latest from the office of Mr. President?